So we just finished minimizing and maximizing using the graphing method, and I just wanted to show you a tool that you can use that might make graphing these a little bit more easy, and especially when some of the homework problems can get a little dicey when the computer is just randomly generating numbers, and these points sometimes are not the easiest to find. So I wanted to show you a tool that you can use on the homework and the tests to help you out with this graphing. So if you go to the internet and just type in desmos.com, the scientific calculator desmos.com is going to pop up. A lot of you have probably already used this before, but maybe you haven't. But if you just type desmos.com, you get this scientific calculator. But we need a graphing calculator. So under Math Tools, if you click that drop-down menu, you can see that there's other types of calculators you can use, and we need a graphing calculator. So once we have this graphing calculator, let's try to graph the two graphs that we just did on our lesson. So I'm going to start with our first one. We have x plus y is less than 10, so I am going to just type in my calculator, x plus y. I'm just using the keys on the keyboard. To do less than or equal to, you're going to use the less than symbol, which is shift comma on your keyboard, or you might, if you're using an electronic keyboard, you're just going to have to find that less than symbol. And then after that, you type equals right after it. So less than and then equals, and then it automatically combines together to make the less than or equal symbol, and then 10. And it automatically makes that line for you. And if you use this on-off button, you can kind of like turn it off if you need to use it. If you hold down on that, on our problem, we made it in orange. So I'm going to go ahead and use the same thing in orange, okay? And then I'm going to go down to line 2 and just do the next one. The next one says y is less than or equal to. So you use the less than, which is again shift comma, and then equal to 1/2, and I just did 1 divided by 2. Then I make sure you push over so that's the x is right next to it and not in the denominator, plus 7. Now I believe I did that in purple, so I could come over here and change that to purple just so it matches the colors that I used there. Then I did x is greater than or equal to 0, and the greater than, that's shift period and then equals, and I did that in green. Okay, so that's already in green. And then y is greater than or equal to 0, and I think I did that in blue. Okay, so I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger so you can see it. So once you have all of these, you can hide that list there. You can use your scroll on your mouse to move in and out, okay? And you can, if you move your thing around, you can kind of center it to where you need to see it. So our picture that we drew looks very similar, okay? So the hardest point sometimes can be finding the intersection points. So if you click here, you can find that corner point at 0, 7. This corner point is at 2, 8, which we had. And that corner point is at 10, 0, and then obviously 0, 0. So that's kind of a nice way that you can just find those points without having too much extra work, okay? So if the scroll isn't working well enough, you can use this little wrench tool, and you can change your axes to show wherever you want to show. So if we wanted to go from 0 to 20, and then 0 to 20, then it would start here at my x-axis at 0, and it would have shown me till 20, okay? So that's kind of nice. And then if you want to just center it again, you can hit home and it recenters it. It takes away all of that. So let's try our next problem. So our next problem, I could just delete all of these. I'm going to leave x is greater than 0, y is greater than 0, just type in my new one. So I have negative 2x plus 5y is greater than or equal to 20. And then I have y is less than or equal to negative 1/2. Once you do your fraction, make sure you hit the right arrow to get out from underneath the denominator, plus 13. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll out here a little bit. And you can see that the shaded region is right where we had it. To find the intersection points, we have 0, 13, which is the same one we had, 10, 8, and then this goes out forever and that goes out forever. So there's really only 2 corner points on this unbounded region. So that's just another way of getting those graphs and corner points a little bit easier. You will still have to take those corner points and plug them in your maximizing or minimizing function to find out if you have a max or a min or answer the relevant questions. But hopefully this Desmos graphing tool will be a great help to you, and especially on some of those tricky problems on the homework when the graphs get very, very large, because the homework system has a random number generator in it, and so it just randomly generates different numbers, and sometimes they get to be really, really big. So instead of spending all your time graphing, instead of doing the optimization, you can use the Desmos graphing tool to do the graphing, and then you are going to take those corner points and do the optimization yourself. Hope this helps.